So today let's go off topic and talk about a movie that is not typically my type of genre, which is the romantic comedy. I'm not a huge fan of romantic comedies, but the movie I watched today, You've Got Mail, the 1998 Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks rom-com that came out in 1998. I wanted to see this just because I do, like, with these actors, like, I really enjoy seeing every movie that they do. Like Tom Hanks, I think is a great actor, and I really think that I want to see all of his stuff. There's some stuff I've missed, like this, that is not something I typically would watch. But to be fair, watching this movie as well, even though I'm not a big fan of this genre, I think it's fun to poke fun at the silliness of this type of genre because it's not one that I love. And I really think that this one has a lot of funny bits, this movie in particular, because it's a romantic comedy. Of course, there's stuff that is over-dramatized, or there is just stuff that's really dumb and just really random. And the main plot of this, like most of these movies, is that Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan are both talking online on email, and they both are competing, like, booksellers at two different bookstores. Meg Ryan has the small bookstore that's the one that's just got a couple people working there, the local business, and then Tom Hanks runs a big business. His father's like like a big rich owner of like all this company. So Tom Hanks runs a really rich bookstore, and then Meg Ryan runs a really normal, lower class-ish bookstore. Where just three people working there. Now, they both don't realize this, and they realize later, of course, that they are the people they're talking to online, and they fall in love, which is kind of weird considering how these characters act towards each other. But one thing I want to point out in this movie, and it's really annoying in all of these movies, or a lot of these movies, they played the fucking Cranberry song that plays in like everything in the 90s, like that dumb Cranberry song, which is really just, it's so annoying that it's in this movie. And they do the same thing in that trailer for that new shitty J-Lo movie, I think called Second Chance or whatever. It looks terrible. It looks god-awful, but like that song is playing and I'm like, you're making me hate you even more, stupid movie. J-Lo movie that's coming out. So yeah, it's got dumb things like the Cranberries play that song, of course. And this is actually a remake of I think The Little Shop Around the Corner is what the name is called, and I have not seen that. It is a classic, or an old school movie that's probably like 40s, 50s at the latest. It's in black and white, which I hear is a good movie, and I have not seen it, and I bet it'll be better than this, even though this one isn't terrible, but it's just alright because it's not a genre I love, this movie. And it's funny because this movie tries so hard to get these two together, but like they have this dumb thing where they both are dating somebody else. Like Meg Ryan is dating Greg Kinnear, and Tom Hanks is dating Parker Posey, which you already know my thoughts on Parker Posey. She's one of those actresses where everything she does, she annoys me. She's really obnoxious. And it's really stupid because, I don't know, like this character, like Parker Posey plays it always so annoying that I couldn't stand her even though she wasn't in the movie for long. But she was annoying. And it's hilarious because this movie is trying to be a romantic thing where like Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan have to go together even though they don't like each other, even though they're opposing bookstore owners. And they break up with their other people that they're with because of dumb reasons, like Meg Ryan and Greg Kinnear break up because Greg Kinnear is into politics too much, and then at the end Meg Ryan's like, I didn't even vote this last year, and then they're like, I never loved you, and then the other one's like, I never loved you either, and they're just happy about it, and it's so dumb. And Parker Posey is just obnoxious, and I think that's the reason why Tom Hanks broke up with her in the movie, but she's just annoying. So it's funny to see how both of these two side characters, Greg Kinnear and Parker Posey, are just immediately erased from the movie in a weird way. It's just kind of really dumb. And later in the movie, Tom Hanks knows about the online talk, but Meg Ryan doesn't. Like, oh my gosh, he knows about it, but she doesn't. And then of course it ends with like her realizing it too, and they get together at the end. So that's our plot. It's basically just that. And there are romantic movies that I do like, and this one is definitely not in that caliber, because this one, the acting in it is all right. Like, it's not bad. It's totally serviceable, but I expected more from Tom Hanks and even more from Meg Ryan, who is the queen of like these chick flicks that she did. She did a million of these movies. So it's funny to see how like these actors, I think, can do better, and they've done better, but it's just they're perfectly serviceable. They're not awful, they're not great either. They're just okay. They don't have anything that like stands out about them. This is definitely not one of Tom Hanks' best performances, but it's an all right, serviceable performance. Like, he's okay, but what is he there's nothing really he could like work with this type of writing anyways, but like they're both totally fine. They're totally fine. Their chemistry is all right. It's just okay, but the movie tries too hard to put them together, even though they don't like each other. And like, stuff like this can be greatly acted, but this one is just average, totally fine acting. There's nothing spectacular about it. It's totally all right. They're totally fine. And the movie, because I don't care much about this genre, and I just want to see this just to say I've seen it, because I want to see all Tom Hanks' movies. This one, I thought, my biggest complaint with this movie is that it was too long. There was just way too much in it that was just, like, since I'm not a big fan of this genre anyways, it's just like, there's so much padding, for me personally, that I was like, oh, there was a lot of Meg Ryan being all bubbly and being all, like, I don't know, in a way where it's just kind of annoying. Like, she was a little annoying in the movie, and she's been fine in other things, but in this movie I thought she was a little annoying, because she was just so bubbly and so, I don't know, so, not airhead character, but like bubbly character, so. And Tom Hanks is supposed to be a dick character in a way, because he's the big corporate like bookstore owner, so he's a jerk to her. And despite that, they fall in love. But it's done better than, like, for example, I've seen that horrible movie called Runaway Bride with Julia Roberts and Richard Gere, which is atrocious. Like, I hate that movie, and I don't even like this genre, but I can't stand that movie. That movie is awful. It does the same thing where like they're horrible to each other and they end up together despite all that, and it's so degrading, like, to watch that movie. That movie's awful. But this one, just this type of genre, it's just perfectly serviceably average. There's nothing about it that I thought stood out. There's nothing about it that I thought was awful. I just thought that it was perfectly average for this type of genre that I'm not a fan of. And if it was amazingly well acted and amazingly well written, then maybe I would have cared. But it's just pretty average, and that's not a giant complaint towards the movie. It's just the movie is just what it is. It's a genre I don't care as much for. Like, if it was a horror movie, of course I'd love it more for the most part. There are some horror movies I hate, but that's a genre where I can watch anything and be like, oh, I love that. But this I just watched out of obligation, because I do want to see all of Tom Hanks' movies, because he's a great actor, and I like seeing all, whenever there's actors that I love, I like to see all their films. So I think that this is, the reason why I saw this was because of that. So this was a okay average first once in a time watch for this movie. So overall, this one was just an average romantic comedy that didn't do anything special or unique, but it's totally serviceable. It's totally serviceable for this type of genre. So that's all I could say about this movie. I'm surprised I went on this long with this movie. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this one-off random video about this movie that I don't really review on this channel, but I watched it just to say I've seen it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me down below what you think of this, if you have seen this, and if not, I don't know, just thank you guys so much for watching.